Well, there's only one place to start, Paul, and that's with the game. And I'm expecting it's another game from yourself, because
it's not, is it?
It's not. It can't be.
It's not. It's not another game. We have to prepare in the same way, and it's a football field, and it's 11v11, but it's not another game, because the people on the periphery and all the things that go on around a game of football make it different. Our job is to make it as ordinary as possible. So let's be honest about it. We know the dynamic of this game. There is a small matter of beating the opposition, or trying to, and there's only 3 points at stake. So that's the reality of it. We know it's a different game, but we're going to try just as hard as we do in every other game.
Do you feel any sense of responsibility on behalf of the fans to win this game of football?
Of course. And they'd like me to say we're going to try even harder this game. And if I say I try as hard as I can every single game, anyway, if I say that I expect the players to try as hard as they can every game, is that enough? I don't know. But I know it's different, and I know it means a lot, and I know that the supporters will see things differently than maybe a player or manager. But in this particular scenario, yes, we do understand, and yes, we do empathise, and yes, we do really want to win. But it's not how much we want to win, it's whether we know how to, and we'll be trying to work out how to.
You've got some experience of them as a football team, and I know you've said quite often that when you've played teams before, it's a different game, it's a different afternoon, it's a different set of events, and it's a different competition. But you must have learnt a little bit about them as a side from your experience so far this season in the Cup. Yeah,
it was a really good game, close game. We played really well in it. They showed real gumption to come back and get a late goal, and it went to penalties. It was a really good game of football. Delighted to have won it. But it was a month ago, and it'd be a different set of players. I think it will be. I think there'll be changes to our team. I think there'll be changes to their team. So it's another game, and we've already seen each other once, so we're beginning to get some context now.
And away from this as a game of football, as a rivalry rather, it's a game of football, and results haven't been where you want them to be on the pitch. And actually, aside from the big rivalry, it is an important game to win.
Really important game to win for them and for us.
Yeah,
I haven't been happy so far.
What's wrong, Paul?
Well, if I knew, I wouldn't tell you, because why would I? There are so many variables, and you have to decide ultimately which ones you discuss with your team to make them play the way you envisage them playing. And a lot of the time it's trial and error. You have to go through a series of, is it this, is it that? But ultimately we need some clarity with the direction to the team from me, and then how they execute, and the players who get selected to perform. We just haven't quite got that whole bit quite right yet. And that doesn't mean we haven't tried any less. We just haven't quite got it right. And we've gone up a league, we're settling, haven't quite had the side settled as I wish it had been. But there's no great drama with me. You sometimes you've just got to go through a process of finding your feet. And there are 101 things to discuss. I think I said to you Tuesday night, we had such a poor game at Accrington, and I wanted so much more there and didn't get it. And on Tuesday night against Stevenage in the Cup, we had a really competitive performance, and I got exactly what I wanted from the side. And there was only so many things I could coach on the Monday, and I asked for something, and the players responded, and that's a building block. And we certainly didn't get the football I would hopefully get in the end. We didn't get the fluency that I wished for ultimately, but they gave me what I asked for on the night, and that's a good starting place. So if that's an answer to your question, then it's as good as it gets, really. It's one thing at a time. We have to understand what layers of performance, and we've got to start layering it and building it up again. And we're not miles away, and it's amazing because a performance you'll often see, it can look terribly disjointed, but actually you're only a fraction away from getting it right, and that's what I believe. That's what I believe we are in at the moment. We're in a position where things aren't quite right, and it ticks onto the next thing, and it all looks a little bit disjointed. But you suddenly get it moving, and it all come into place. That's where I think we are. But the most important thing is we have to be competitive. We were on Tuesday. It's a really important game for us. It got us back going again. We were physically and mentally focused, and that needs to step on now into this next game.
You mentioned that there's only so much you can do on a Monday on a training ground. Finally, we're at the end of Tuesday night games, it feels. How
for
vital?
another week?
Yeah, for another week. How vital is it that you can actually now get out onto the training ground again?
It's really important. It's been one of the things that we have used and been very proactive about pushing the way we direct the side. We have been hit by Tuesday, Saturday. I think throughout August, September, we're only going to miss a Tuesday or two. That really does take the hit out your training in terms of coaching work, and that's no excuse because you can easily get into a rhythm and it's great for you. But we've lost our rhythm, and the games are coming thick and fast, and we haven't really been able to do a lot to put that right on the training ground. As I said, the reaction from Accrington through to the Stevenage Tuesday night game was a competitive, getting closer to the opponent type of reaction. There's not a lot of technique to that. There's not a lot of tactical to that. It's just get closer to your opponent and keep the game simple. So we've ticked that box. There's a lot more to come yet, and many boxes we've got to tick yet before I see the side I want to see. But at the moment, I've been doing this long enough to know you don't get it all overnight. You've just got to build it, and you've got to do one thing first. And what you ask the players to do has to be achievable. Which is my point at the beginning of the week. I couldn't coach 10 different sessions, but the players need to go into the game, and the directions and what I'm requesting of them is achievable. It was on Tuesday, and they did that, and that's a great place to start.
The chairman spoke to me earlier this week, and he said that he wouldn't be happy unless his team's in the Championship. Does that put more pressure on you, or is that just a case of, it's obvious that the chairman's going to want to be in the Championship, because I think that's what every League One chairman probably wants.
It's obvious, and coupled with the fact we were there 3 or 4 years ago, and what he's personally invested in time and effort and emotion into this project, he's bound to want that. And he's also, I'm becoming more and more acquainted with how he thinks, and I have to say 95%, which is a lot for a relationship in football, 95% of it we're aligned, and I think he's absolutely right to expect certain things, and the way he puts his business together, and which the football is involved within that, it all makes sense to me. And why not? How quick is a different matter. It's 1 year at a time. We're barely into September, so. But he's right to want it. He's invested so much of his self into this, and we've got the platform for it. So, one thing at a time. We had to get out of League Two. We did it. I think we all wanted to go up first year. We did it. We knew it was a tall ask to do it. We did it, and now we've got the next challenge.